Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. I am Akshat Bahety and today I'm going to talk about the question that you have all read in the title, what should I do with my career in 2026? Very simply, people are learning AI but they don't know how to apply it. They don't know where to apply it. I get asked this all the time. How do I make money with AI, or how do I grow my career with AI? How do I build something with AI? People know the tools, people know what to do, people just don't know where to go from there. So this is going to be the quickest and the most practical advice that you're going to get. It's going to be honest, it's going to be truthful. This is not something that you switch on and you make a ton of money out of it. It's something that you need to do in order to really build a career in AI. So let's get started. So I'm going to give you three options, right? Again, very simply, the first one is the career path. Now, career path, when I say that, is you have two options available to you right now. Number one is to technically become an AI automation engineer. And when I'm saying AI automation engineer, the word holds a bit of value, but the point is anyone can learn these tools now. I'm not asking you to code from day one, but technically learn the tools that are there. So N10, OpenAI, GPTs, and everything else. This is just one job posting that I found, which is somewhere around $122,000 to $236,000 a year, which is a great salary for anyone across the world, but also for people in the US. And you can see this is actually a remote position, and you can see again, it has experience in Copilot, similar LLM-based platforms, and ChatGPT. Even if you read its 5 years of experience, if you apply, again, AI has been technically some of these tools only exist for the last 3.5 years. So you can go ahead and definitely talk to them about it and apply to these positions. And this is just one of them. There are ton of these available on the job platforms. So the best option that you can do right now is actually turn yourself into an AI automation engineer. For this, you technically need the following skills, and these are pretty simple. You need to understand what are LLMs, okay? You need to understand the tools, right? So you need to know N10, Copilot Studio. You need to technically also learn probably a bit more about evaluations, right? And also again, just a bit more on how do these things work with other systems. So connecting with other tools. So for that, I'd say probably APIs a bit and maybe a couple of other things. But that's pretty much it. The lesson plan is not that massive. If you just go ahead and follow 3 to 5 options about learning a couple of tools, building a couple of workflows, and you'll get better at it, you can apply for these roles. You need to just understand really how LLMs work, what are different kinds of them, and which tools are you comfortable with, and start practicing on them. And that's it. The only problem that people do is people take a YouTube tutorial, think that they have copied it, and that's why they are an AI engineer. No. If you can't build something originally from scratch by yourself, again, I'm not expecting you to not use AI, but use AI, but by yourself, then you know that you need to learn a bit more. So that's where the gap is right now. There are people looking for engineers across, but there are not people who know how to actually build. And this is a great option to move forward. Second option, if you already have a job and you are someone who is already good at what they do and really like what they're doing, then you should be an AI plus in your existing job. One of the best examples of that is coming up recently is AI PMs, right? Again, everyone across the world is talking about AI PM, right? Again, an AI product manager and whatever that is. The point is there is a lot on that, but one person called Akash Gupta, who is a PM himself in really popular companies, really covers this in depth across on how to be an AI PM. But that is something that you can apply to anywhere in the world, right? Again, it's about learning the skill set that is required. So you need to figure out what is the place that you can apply AI in your career. So that could be about building agents, maybe understanding a bit more about LLMs, maybe building new solutions with AI. It could be anything. You can add any word here and that can be your new job. And companies are really looking out for people who can understand AI. There are a lot of people who understand surface level AI. If you're using ChatGPT, please, you're not an AI expert. You're not someone who is using AI on a daily basis. You're just using ChatGPT. Everyone across the world is using ChatGPT. You need to go deeper. You need to understand different terms and different technologies and everything else. Now, again, the step-by-step format of this looks very different for each job, but some of the basics are learning about LLMs, learning about RAG agents, learning about evals, learning about what are agents as such, again, what are AI agents as such. You should be really comfortable with building tools, so you should be able to prototype using Lovable, Supabase, and also probably again, now I would say Gemini, Nano, again, marketing specific things, right? So again, I'm just dropping this here. You need to figure out what is it for your path and go ahead and search about it, right? So go to ChatGPT, right? I want to be an AI marketing person, AI PM person, AI engineer, whatever. Ask it to craft a career path for you. They will give you exactly what you need to learn, and you can go ahead and go deep on it. One of my best resources that I always say is A16Z AI Canon. This is probably the most updated, curated resource that they maintain. And this has again a ton of stuff about AI, right? Again, and it's goes very, very deep, but I would really suggest you guys to go through it. The link will be in the description. You should definitely go ahead and check it out. Let's come to the next option, and this option is one of my favorites, right? That people have been asking is side hustle, right? But the point is, it has changed a bit now. But before I begin on that option, there is a couple of things that you need to remember. Side hustles are not about a lot of people just are getting into the AI space about building agencies, building stuff, and everything else. That's not the right way to go about, because most of you are individuals. Most of you have full-time jobs or have already commitments, and building an agency requires a much different skill set. You are trying to do something by yourself and technically build a small side hustle so that you still become part of that AI thing and still become part of the AI gold rush, but you still are able to do what you're already doing. So for that, let's talk about the side hustle. Very simply, I believe the best option to do that is actually just one: implement AI as a contractor. So you can go to these companies, the same ones that I've showed you, and let's say you don't want to do a full-time role, and if you want to go ahead and do that, you can say I'm going to help you do something for whatever rates you want to set it up, and you can help them do that and try what you are doing. The problem, what happens here, most people go into these companies without knowing about AI, and that's why I've written bring in your knowledge to implement the AI solutions. I have seen so many people who have gone to these companies thinking we will just hire someone to do the AI stuff for us, we are just going to sell. Now that might work if you are really good at AI, because companies have got smart. Companies know who understands AI and who does not understand AI. They're not going to be talking to a person who does not understand AI, and just because they are going to bring in someone, they can bring in that someone themselves. And that's the truth. Nobody gets this, but the best thing that you can do for yourself is become a contractor yourself. Learn the tools that I mentioned in the career path. You still need to learn all of these things, but now you can go ahead and implement the solutions for themselves. But now you can go ahead and implement the solutions for these companies. One more thing that you can do, and this is for people who have 5 to 10 years of experience in a particular industry, they can go to those industries, utilize their know-how, and implement AI solutions for them. Don't do it at an agency level. Maybe you do it at a contractor level. Maybe you have one more person at all. But do those first 3 to 5, 7 clients yourself, completely at bare minimum rates. Don't try to make money here. Just try to implement and build a good portfolio in the first 3 to 5 steps. And that is where you really need to hone your skills in. And once you do that, you can really move to a bigger step if you want to take that up. But going towards the side hustle route, if you have knowledge about the industry, you like what you're doing, and you just want to be part of the AI ecosystem, this is the best way to get started. The only caveat that it's also extremely competitive, and most people just don't get how competitive it is because there are so many people pitching. So instead of pitching, if you go ahead and show and tell, and you really show them how you can help them, that is where you stand out from the rest of the crowd. And this is exactly why we built our community, to help people get started on their side hustles. This is not a place to again go ahead and let's build $1 million business. This is a place so that you can get started on your first $1,000, $5,000, $10,000 per month side hustle. And that's where we want to help you. So if you are interested to learn more, go ahead and join the community, and I would love to see you all there. Now, option 3, this is probably something again, everyone just knows about it but does not talk about it enough, and which is what I would like to call, very simply, build a SaaS. Right? Build a SaaS. Now, this is something that you can do with AI today, which wasn't applicable to people who did not know engineering or who did not know marketing before. So now, today, you can do all these things using AI, quite literally. And let me tell you what. So building, technically, you can use AI to code, you can use AI to find ideas, you can use AI to build MCPs. I'm going to explain this to you each one in a quick second, but also you can use AI to market, create content, and creating SEO content and optimizing ads. So you can build a product, build a digital product, and go ahead and sell it using AI, marketing it well, and just going in deep on it. This is something that I believe people have crazy expectations on this. People think that if they build a SaaS, they want to go to $100,000 a year revenue day one. That's not happening. You have to start small. I would say the best target that you can keep for yourself in the first 3 months is make $1,000 using your product. That's it. $1,000. If it's subscription based, great. If it's not subscription based, it's fine. You make the first $1,000 in your 3 months. Now you might be like, actually, this is so stupid. I can make more money as a side hustle or career path. Yes, you can. 110%. $1,000 is easier to get in as a contractor or as someone in a career, because very simply you're learning so much, you're delivering actual value, and people are going to pay a higher value for you to build something specific for them. Here you are technically building a SaaS, which is going to be priced around $20, $30, $40, right? Now, this is a bit different path. This is where you are going to invest literally 3 to 4 months just trying to build at least 2 to 3 ideas. Now, unless you have a very specific niche, so you already know something that's going to work. Like one of the things that if I just search post scheduler, right? Let me just search this post scheduler, and I will get probably tons of options, right? Again, like very simple, like, again, and if I search, like, one of the things that has really got popular is Postbridge, right? So Postbridge is this app which is for simply an scheduling app. You can schedule content out on there, and there are just so many competitors out there. He is like, again, you will see, like, Postworks, you'll have, like, best open source Postbridge alternatives, like there's just ton of them. So the point is, what people did is people saw this idea and then just started copying it. Just started copying, like, this person is making, I believe, Jack is making around $20,000 a month on this, Canadian dollars or something, and people just started copying it. So if you are someone who knows there is a specific idea that you can build in, just use that. Just go ahead and use that, and use AI to code it, right? And that is the best part. If you can go ahead and compete. The only problem is now if you go into something like this, like a post scheduling platform, the competition is already high. So my suggestion would be that instead of going here, you technically go ahead a bit deeper onto something that is new. And for that, you can use Greg's website, right? Again, which is an idea browser, right? Again, you guys can, let me just show you this. You can use idea browser to actually find new ideas, and they really do this. Like, they really help people, like, get new ideas. This is the idea of the day, which is free, and they also, this is a software tool, so you can use it to, like, get different ideas across. But if you just want free ideas, you can just check it out every day. They post a new idea with, like, the opportunity, the problem, why now, and everything else, and you can go ahead and technically do that also. So I'm just going to show you, like, again, I'm going to drop all these links below in the description. Another option is very simply, we can use AI to build MCPs. There are people who are selling MCPs, which is still new and a bit more technical compared to just building anything else. But if you want to go down on that, there is an option where you can sell your MCP servers and stuff. It's not really popular right now, but I believe it will get a bit more popular in the next year as we keep going ahead. Then let's talk about marketing. Marketing is probably, like, again, it hasn't been easier to market, but it hasn't been more difficult to stand out. So this is where you technically need to be a bit more creative. So if you're a creative person, you can use AI to create content, create SEO based content, optimize your ads, and even create your ads and do everything. But here you need to be just a bit more creative. You need to find the trends, you need to jump on the trends. So there is still a good amount of effort required, but once you market it enough, I believe you can really get to $1,000, $2,000 option by investing a much less time compared to what you would need to, like, build something from scratch without AI. So all in all, these are the three options that you have. You can have a career path, you can have a side hustle, or you can build a SaaS. Don't try to do all of three at the same time, but you can just surely try all of them every year, right? So you can do 3 months on something, 3 months on something else, and 3 months on something next. But this is the easiest roadmap to get started with AI in 2026. There are still 3 months left in 2025. I would say go ahead and see what works out for you, right? Test out stuff. And then in 2026, from January 1st, just double down on what works for you. What are you happy with? Just go ahead and keep doing that. And that's my simplest submission to you. If you think that works out for you, go ahead down in the comment section and tell me which path makes sense to you, and just go ahead and double down on it and tell the others that you can do this. My single goal of creating this video was I wanted a resource that I can send out to people, because people keep asking me these questions, and I just wanted to put the thoughts down for once and for all. But if you're someone who's actually getting started, I wish you all the best. Go ahead, you can do it. And if you like the video and want to follow along on the journey, like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.